Dear children, last day I taught you lesson 13, the national movement, first phase in history, page number 87, partition of Bengal. ये आपको पढ़ा दिया था. Now look the Swadeshi movement. The Swadeshi movement, the anti-partition agitation was intensified by extremist leaders by launching Swadeshi and boycott movements. Use of Swadeshi goods and articles and boycott of foreign products were the main instrument initially. The movement had a wide following and far-reaching consequences. The traditional method of respectful resentment, pleading, and petitioning gave way to stormy upsurge, which paved the way for ultimate acquisition of Swaraj self-rule. Bengali students played a major role in the Swadeshi movement. Women, especially of the middle class, also actively participated in it. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chand Pal, and Arvindo Ghosh led the movement. The Swadeshi movement was an elaborate program of passive resistance propagated by Arvindo Ghosh. It dealt with the important issue like setting up of national educational institution, administration, judiciary, and also the scheme for the social reform. In fact, the schemes emerged more powerful after this movement. Revolutionary trends in India and abroad. The freedom of the Balkan state from the clutches of the Ottoman Empire, the defeat of Italy at the hands of Abyssinia in 1896, and the defeat of Russia by Japan in 1905 broke the impression of European superiority. Rampant unemployment coupled with the British policy of the racial discrimination further increased the feeling of dissatisfaction amongst the educated youth of the country. All these factors contributed to the rise of revolutionary movement against the British Empire. Early in the 20th century, there began efforts to form revolutionary groups in India. The first such revolutionary group was started around 1902 in Midnapur by Janendranath Basu. In Calcutta, the Anushilon Samiti was founded by Pramodha Mittar, Jatindranath Banerjee, and Varendra Kumar Ghosh. Other well-known secret revolutionary society were the Yugantar, founded by Bhupendranath Datta, and Abhinav Bharat, established by V.D. Savarkar. However, these societies initiated physical and moral training of their members, but soon sporadic revolutionary activities of a political nature were undertaken by Indian revolutionaries abroad. In 1905, Shyamji Krishna Verma set up a India House in London. It became the center of the revolutionary activities outside India. He also launched the paper and Indian Socialist. The activities of India House became more radical after V.D. Savarkar joined it in 1907. Other active members of the group were Virendranath Chattopadhyay, Tirumal Acharya, Madam Bhikaji Kama, Bhai Paramananda, Madan Lal Dhingra, Lajpat Rai, and Lala Hardayal. The plans to assassinate Lord Curzon, Lord Kitchener, and Curzon Wiley, the ADC to the Secretary of State for India, were led here. The Revolutionary Ghadar Party was founded in 1913 in the USA. Lala Hardayal was its main leader as soon as World War I broke out. The party decided to send arms, money and men to India for staging a revolt against the British with the help of local revolutionaries. The movement took a new shape after the arrival of Ras Bihari Bose and Vishnu Ganesh Pingal. As the activities of the revolutionaries intensified in the London and the USA, new centers emerged on the European continent. In 1907, Madame Kama attended the International Socialist Congress at Stuttgart in the Germany, unfurled the Indian national flag for the first time. During the war years, much of revolutionary activities were centered in Berlin. In 1915, the Indian Independence Committee was set up with a view to liberate the country under the leadership of Virendranath Chattopadhyay, Bhupendra Datta, and Lala Hardayal in collaboration with the German Foreign Office. The plan was called the Zimmermann Plan. In another development, Raj Mahendra Pratap, Baruktullah, and Obaidullah Siddi set up a provisional government of Free India at Kabul. Thus, various attempts by revolutionary Indians were made to liberate the country, but their attempts did not succeed due to the lack of a long-term program. However, they succeeded in the creating public awareness about India's suffering under the British operation. Birth of the Muslim League. The birth of the Muslim League, the British tried their best to create crack in the unity of India. They followed the policy of divide and rule and openly declared that if the educated Muslims remained loyal to the British, they would be rewarded with the government jobs and other special favor. As a result, a large number of educated Muslims either remained aloof or turned against the nationalist movement. The communist tendencies attained the new height in the year 1906 with the formation of the All India Muslim League with official patronage. It supported the partition of Bengal and demanded special safeguard for the Muslim in government service. It consists mostly of the upper classes, Muslim like Aga Khan, Salimullah Khan and Nawab of Dhaka and Nawab Mohsin ul Mulk. The British propaganda that the partition of Bengal would benefit the Muslim led to the rise of communal violence in the East Bengal and in a way contributed to the rise of separatist tendencies. Separatist tendencies. Provision of separate electorates. The enactment of the Morley Minto reforms in 1909 providing for separate electorate for Muslim community showcased the deliberate British attempt to implement the divisive communal policy. Subsequently, this provision was demanded by and connected to other minorities like the Sikh, Indian Christian, and Europeans and Anglo-Indians also. Lucknow Session 1916 and the Home Rule Movement next day. Thanks.